Hello and welcome back to the channel, and thank you for joining me this afternoon as I record this. Now, as you know, this channel has been following the Public Child Protection Wales, which is a group of families who've been taking the Welsh Government particularly to court because they're concerned, quite rightly it seems in my mind, about the state education of children, particularly when it comes to sex education. So they've taken the government to court to have the right so that parents can take their children out of the lessons so that their children are not being taught the sex lessons the way that the Welsh Government, and it goes right across the country, are being given. This includes very, very nasty and expletive teachings to extremely young children. So we're not talking just secondary schools, a bunch of 15-year-olds ready to go into the world. We're talking down in junior and primary schools in which children are being taught things such as masturbation and very inappropriate grooming, if you like, into the world of sex. Now, we have videos on that and interviews on that on the channel. You can check those out. However, I was at the Better Way conference earlier this month and I bumped into Louise Collins, who is a very vocal and avid supporter of the families who have been taking the Welsh Government to court. And I wanted to find out, here is Public Child Protection Wales, the activities they've been getting up to, trying to show our children the type of things that can be happening to them. And as I say, I bumped into Louise Collins. So let's find out what Lou had to say as is the recent situation with the court case that happened. So over to Lou in a very noisy room, and I apologise for the background sounds.
So I'm going to read you from their website. So on the 26th of May, they got the blow. The appeal was denied. 6 reasons in total were cited. They're basically taken away parents' rights to remove the children from these disgusting lessons. Let me just go through. One of the reasons citing is the costing of the proceeding, which implies that they're too poor to carry it on. So, meaning the parents and the fundraising, that we can't sustain it and we're not going to be able to go. They're not going to be able to continue the case, basically. The most concerning for Kim, with regards to Kim, is the fact the judicial system deems the complete removal of parental rights by a power-hungry state. Apparently it's not in the public interest when children aged 3 years and over are in the firing line. So they've basically denied the right for parents to remove the children. I mean, it's what does that say about us, Richard? What does it say? That innocence of those children is there for so long. We should be nurturing that. And it's being stripped away from them. So now it's up to us parents. These parents in Wales have been carrying and fighting for all of us. But now it's time that parents start writing to MPs, looking at ways that they can remove their children from schools. And then the only other option is a mass clear out of children and something else set up. There are home schooling groups which are doing incredibly well. Our Catherine's, can discuss that with anybody. But if people want to look at the full case, they need to go to publicchildprotectionwales.org. I don't get it, Richard, because judges and these justices and these lawmakers, they must have children and grandchildren. Yeah. I don't understand. And it's where we are, though. We have to take the power back ourselves. But people go to publicchildprotectionwales.org. There's going to be letters and templates for people to write. And they're looking at all faiths as well. They've got letters from the Christian community, the Muslim, the Jewish, etc. So whatever faith you're following, there will be a letter to, a template for people to use.
So there you go. It is very much now down to the parents, and I just thought it'd be worth having a little look more at the article here. I've picked a little bit of the article from Public Child Protection Wales. This is the website that Louise Collins was just talking about there, and the Royal Courts of Justice in which they have taken the case to, and it's been thrown out. I just thought this last bit would be quite interesting to examine. Let's discuss public interest. Apparently, it's not in the public interest. Not only does the judicial system agree parents have no rights over education from age 3 to 16. Let me just read that again, just so that it sinks in. It not only does the judicial system agree that parents have no rights over education from age 3 to 16. I mean, does that not make your skin creep? That parents don't have the rights over the education of their children? But it also supports unethical theories and ideologies. Apparently, we are sexual from birth. And the frameworks featuring masturbation from birth are just fine. Queer theory, whose definition and origins most people do not understand, is rampant in our schools. It's persuaded people to believe that it is suddenly cool and hip to identify as queer and to be ultra kind to minority groups, whatever their agenda. That too, naturally, is fine within the same system. Our very own Professor Emma Reynolds was referenced in the original judgment, and it is a shame the judge did not realise the controversy around her work and the fact that the Welsh Government unsurprisingly denied any responsibility, but only after removing her resources agenda from the HWB website. Then we have the gender ideology of the John Money and his mutilation and sexual abuse of children. This is the stuff of nightmares, passed off as diversity and inclusion. Now, I don't know what you make of that. I am a parent of children, 3 children, boy, girl, and boy. They are all in their late 20s and early 30s now. Thank God they don't have to go through the education system, but I do have grandchildren, and I'm extremely worried. It's very difficult for me to talk about any of this sort of stuff with my children because they think that I've fallen down a rabbit hole. And this, I'm afraid, seems to be the case, as having spoken to numerous people, particularly at the Better Way conference, where a lot of like-minded people came together. I discovered that a lot of people are having family conversations which they're finding very difficult and trying to alert the younger generation to what is going on. The younger generation being the parents who have children in the state system. The lovely Julia, my partner, has pulled her children out of the education system, believing for many reasons that it is now broken, that it is extremely biased, and is not beneficial to her children. Doesn't seem to endorse critical thinking and make children ask questions like, why should this happen? Why is this going on? Why should I believe this? Instead of, this is the only way. It's a bit like, I don't know if you remember a phrase called, we're following the science, or the science is done. I'm not for me, thank you very much. So if you have children in the state school system and you're not fully aware of what's going on, what's being taught to them, let alone all the digital interventions that's happening, Julia's son had to pay for his dinner money using his fingerprint. Now, if that's not an early form of grooming for a digital economy and a biometric economy, then I don't know what is. Anyway, I'd be interested in your thoughts. In the meantime, you can go to publicchildprotectionwales.org. I'll put a link in the description, and you can check it out for yourself. But very distressing situation for the next generation who will be taking the mantle from us. Let's hope that they are grown up and able to think for themselves and not fully indoctrinated by the powers that want them to be slaves. Thank you.